So good day, friends. Welcome to the channel. I was thinking we should probably take another look at Richard Allen, which, as I'm sure most of y'all know, is being looked at for being bridge guy in Delphi in the murders of Abby and Libby. On the screen, sketches that have been done over the last few years. So if you look at them, it's kind of bizarre. You can kind of see how each one looks like him, although they're such different sketches. So to start, let's take a look at what's been going on with this one's close to my heart. You know, ever since these girls ran across this monster, which the family calls their monster. So ever since they have come across their monster, I've been thinking of them. You can't not. Okay, so this is what came out recently. And it's Richard Allen asking for, let me get this close. He's asking for a public defender. So here we go. The man arrested in connection with the Delphi murder case has asked for a public defender. According to documents filed this week, Richard Allen has asked the court to provide him with a defense attorney. Prior to the request, he signaled his intention to hire private counsel. So Richard Allen was arrested on October 31st, saying he was facing 2 counts of murder in connection with the deaths of Abby Williams and Libby German on February 13th, 2017. He has been moved at least 2 times after being held at the Carroll County Jail before being transferred to the White County Jail. And he has subsequently been taken to an undisclosed state facility for his own safety. The Indiana Department of Corrections releasing this is his newest booking photo right there. In a handwritten letter obtained by Fox, actually it's out everywhere right now, Richard Allen begged for the mercy of the court during his initial hearing on October 28th, is when he said he intended on getting private counsel. So this is what was filed as of yesterday on the November 9th to the Carroll County Circuit Court. And I can't make this out. Those who, okay. So case number, blah, 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 blah. In the cause listed above, I, Richard M. Allen, hereby throw myself at the mercy of the court. Dramatic. I am begging to be provided with legal assistance in a public defender or whatever is available. At my initial hearing on October 28th, I asked to find representation for myself. However, at the time, I had no clue how expensive this would be just to talk to somebody. I also did not realize that my wife and I immediate financial situation was going to be. We have both been forced to immediately abandon employment, myself due to incarceration, and my wife for her personal safety. She has had to abandon the house for her own safety with little reserve. Will fail to even maintain the original residence. Again, I throw myself at the mercy of the court. Please provide me with whatever assistance you may. Thank you for your time in this most urgent matter. Sincerely, Richard M. Allen, signed and dated by the court. So yes, he's throwing himself at the mercy. He doesn't have to do that because it's actually, it's a given if he can't afford it. But I guess he needed to make such a dramatic statement for, I'm not sure why. So yeah, I throw myself at the mercy of the court. And yeah, I found it interesting. No clue how expensive it would be just to talk to somebody. Well, when you've got double murder charges, this is not going to be an inexpensive thing, right? So there it is again. Let's see here what we got. Everything's running really slow tonight. Cannot do that. Okay. All right. So there is that I wanted to show you. And this is just devastating. What this has done to the victims' families, what this has done to everybody who loved these girls, and what he's done to his own family. So mother of Delphi murder victim says she is reliving the nightmare all over again, and she vows to stare down her daughter's killer. Aww. So that is Libby and her mom, Carrie Timmons. I will come back down here. I was just wondering if... Okay, let's go back up. So a mother of one of the two slain girls in Delphi case said she is being forced to relive the nightmare all over again in her first interview after cops charged a suspect. Carrie Timmons, the mother of the German 14, said she was taken by complete surprise when Richard Allen was charged for the unaliving of her daughter and her friend, Abigail Williams. So Richard Allen, a CVS pharmacist, was arrested last month for the killings in February 2017. Of Abby and Libby, saying that he left the area in shock. Well, this is only a town of 3,000 people. Can you imagine? 3,000 people. Chances of not running into this guy, very slim. And if I remember correctly, he also has the only pharmacy, or works at the only pharmacy in the area. So he has pled not guilty. And the prosecutors did seal the arrest warrant. And, there's a lot of different ideas as to why that might be. But in my opinion, we will find out sooner than later. And if it is going to keep the integrity of this case, personally, I'm all for it. So let's see here. There he is there. Abby and Libby, this being Libby, and this being Abby and this being Libby. Yes, so Libby's mom, it's being rather triggering because it's bringing everything back. And in a sense, I'm reliving it all over again. It's, PTSD, what a horrible thing, right? So let's see here. I wonder if I can make this in Facebook. So this is right here is where he lives, and that they did execute a search warrant on that house. So this is saying Thursday, but it's not giving an exact date, but it wasn't long before he was actually picked up. So back here, it was a Monday that they were dropped off. They took a path to this bridge. That's not very informative, is it? We can do a better breakdown. This is a little bit, look at that. Right there is a picture of Bridge Guy. Right there. And this is a bar that he was known to, well, that a previous owner had. I don't know if the actual building has been reused for another bar or if it's been taken down. So this is Abby, and I think it was one of the very few times, if not the first time, she had really been on that bridge, and it's a spooky looking bridge. So this was the second sketch of Bridge Guy. So he's got a unique walk, and to me, his voice is similar. This one's got a little bit more firmness, but to me, very similar to Richard Allen. So this is the Carroll County prosecutor, Nicholas McClelland, and I think he's looking forward to putting this guy in jail. So this was the first sketch. Yeah, I do believe if they've got the right person, and I don't have any reason to think otherwise, I think he'll get put away. So this here, I'm not sure if this is Abby's grandfather, but this here is Abby's mom. And there he is with his wife. Right here is the press conference saying that they got him. The passion in these fellows, oh my God. Okay, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but I do want to play the beginning of this anyways. So let's take a pick.
Everyone seems to be active in all investigation. At the conclusion, we are going to answer a limited amount of questions out of respect to the investigation and the process that will follow. We will not discuss evidence that is related to this investigation. On behalf of the Delphi Double Homicide Task Force, thank you all for your continued support. I would now like to introduce to you our first speaker, Superintendent of the Indiana State Police, Doug Carter.
Literally, this is, every time I watch it, I get teary. The passion in this man is unreal. Unreal. Damn, he says.
Give me just a second here. Seldom do I have prepared remarks, but today is different because I do not want there to be any confusion or ambiguity with what I will say. Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation. First, I'd like to speak directly to Anna, Mike, Becky, Kelsey, your extended families. Along with the entire Delphi community that certainly has grown and now includes our nation in Colorado. I am proud to report to you that today, actually last Friday, was the day. And an arrest has been made. Thanks to literally hundreds of media outlets that have been steadfast supporting and keeping the memories of Abby and Libby front and center. Many of you in the room have developed relationships with me personally, and you know I always have a personal perspective, and today's no different. But from a very personal perspective, you all have provided inspiration and support, even while oftentimes frustrated with us and me. You continue to encourage the efforts. And you too believe that one day we would all be here participating and sharing this news. To the entire law enforcement community, which includes all local, state, and federal agencies, which are far too many specifically mentioned today, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going to continue a methodical and committed approach to ensure that if any other person had any involvement in these murders in any way.
So this part makes me really curious because they've got the sealed documents right now. It's really making me wonder what they are looking for out there. Have we got some kind of going on that they've been able to get into? Have they got other players, not necessarily other players that are involved in this? Is Anthony Schatz involved? There is so much yet to be found out. And I don't know. If they need to keep their cards held close to the vest, I think they should.
That person or persons will be held accountable. Since the murder of Abby and Libby 86 days ago, the daily investigative team has worked tirelessly and is certainly worthy of mention today. Specifically, Sheriff Linsonby, Sheriff of Carroll County, Detectives Tony Liggett, Detective retired Kevin Hammond, former Delphi chief and now the prosecutor investigator Steve Mullins, State Police First Sergeant Jerry Coleman, Detectives Jay Harper, Dave Vito, and Brian Harshman, along with members of the United States Marshal Service, specifically Agent Jeremy Clinton and Agent Bill Colfers. With them today is Dan McClain, U.S. Marshal, appointed U.S. Marshal. Our state police analyst, our scientist from many different disciplines within our laboratory division, Mrs. Kathy Shank, for your incredible dedication to detail and to so many others that I know I've missed. I really believe that Abby and Libby would be proud of you for standing strong, even as some of these individuals have postponed retirement. Passed on promotional opportunity, have dedicated personal time away from their families, up nights, weekends, and holidays, all while in the pursuit of accountability.
See, with this case, this is the very first time that they've arrested anybody. They've looked at people and people have been put out, put in the hoosegow for having outstanding warrants and what have you. But this is the very first time that they've put their neck out and actually arrested somebody. So it makes me feel very comfortable that they have the right person. I mean, there's always ifs, ands, whats, or buts, but I am personally thinking that they've got Bridge Guy.
For Abby, this announcement will not diminish your resolve, and I hope you have found just a bit of peace in this most complicated world. This is really important. While I know you are all expecting final details today concerning this arrest, today is not that day. Today is not that day. This investigation is far from complete, and we will not jeopardize its integrity by releasing or discussing documents or information before the appropriate time.
So as we know, there is a lot being said about this right now. So let me know down below what you think about this information being held on to for now. I don't think they're saying forever. I think they're just saying that for now, it basically could hurt the integrity of their case, which makes me again believe that there is more people involved. But let me know what you think.
Prosecutor Nick McClellan, of course, will share additional information. Explain to you why the probable cause affidavit is temporarily sealed by the court and not available. And by the way, he has been a tremendous team. I'm yet again asking you for your patience and please your understanding while our system of due process works. Also remember that all persons arrested are presumed innocent. All persons arrested are presumed innocent. You all will have an innate desire to subjectively interpret and then report what you think. We in the law enforcement realm cannot and you should never allow us to talk about what we think concerning facts, but rather discuss and share at the right time what it is we know. The time will come when additional details can be released. But again, today is not that day. It's about Abby and Libby, their families, and this community, this nation, and even our planet. The prosecutor has been very clear on released, shared, or discussed. So we will, of course, comply. If you choose to be critical of our silence, be critical of me.
Again, yeah, it is something we have to remember that basically the people on the streets are not the ones that are making these calls. Again, let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. We've all got different ideas and thoughts. That does not make any one of them wrong. We just have different ideas and thoughts. So let's listen to a little bit more of this, and we have a couple other things I want to go through. So let's get back to this.
These are the folks that have committed their entire lives to a successful conclusion. In other words, a guilty verdict. As we move to the next phase of this investigation, I will continue to offer all resources that the ISP has. It's not only the investigative team I anticipate growing, but also to Prosecutor McClellan as we prepare for the coming months. Again, Nick has been very resolute and very clear, and I'm most grateful for his leadership. And it's going to be really important as we move forward. Please continue offering tips that you would like to share. The many avenues to report will remain open and will be available to all. Please continue doing that. In closing, I stand before you in this church and very place where we held our first briefing nearly 6 years ago, and just hours after the murders of Abby and Libby.
It's just chilling, absolute chilling.
Pulling into today, I wasn't sure the emotion I would experience. But peace came. I didn't expect that to happen. And I hope all of you, with all the responsibilities you have from around the planet today, have felt some of that as well. But remember, we're not done. I think what we all have experienced proves that together there's nothing we cannot do. But more importantly, giving of ourselves, all of us, giving of ourselves never more than what we could ever receive. Abby and Libby, though in death, have had a profound effect on so many of us, on how we live, and as importantly, who we all should be. I would now like to introduce to you.
Well said, well said. Absolutely crushing. Okay, so let's take a look. Again, let me know what you guys think down below about them holding on to this information. Let's see here. Not comfortable with that. Okay, we'll go back over here. All right. So this is back to that recording a while ago. And okay, that's not the one that was after either. Leave it to me, right? Yeah. Okay. See, I had done this already and I went to edit it and I didn't have the best luck. So I just started over here again and I closed my tabs up, but that's okay. We got this. Okay, now this is a little bit more information on the wife. Her name is Kathy, and they've actually gone into hiding. They've been getting a lot of threats. So this is Kathy Ellen with her husband, who, as we know, is the murder suspect for Abby and Libby. The girls were killed after going on a walk near the bridge near Delphi, Indiana. It's called the Monon High Bridge. And they were on the trail system that basically goes from a parking lot into this area where the Monon High Bridge is. Now, what it is an old dilapidated train bridge. So 5 things you need to know about Kathy. She's frequently posted pictures with her husband on Facebook. This one here I find a little bit creepy because here he is there, and then in the background there's Bridge Guy. There's a very similar one that is with him at work with that picture in the back. So Richard Allen was photographed on December 2021 in a Delphi bar with his wife sitting in front of what appears to be a sketch. Number 2, Kathy Allen posted a picture of the couple's daughter on the same bridge. So, oh good, they've got it blurred out. There is this picture of their daughter, and oh my God, that poor kid. I don't know how old she is now, but she's got a similar look to Libby German, as you can see in this picture here. To me, I mean, the body structure, the hair, there's a lot of similarities there. And this is the following year that they're sitting on that exact same bridge. So yeah, on the same bridge. That's Monon High Bridge. Yeah. Although she posted the picture that year, which was after the murders, it appears from her other pictures of the daughter that the photo may have been taken some years earlier. The daughter is now an adult, and Kathy's page also included wedding photos of her with her parents. I do believe that she has since closed that down. Kathy and Richard Allen lived on Whiteman Drive in Delphi, which is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. So number 3, Kathy Allen wrote, "Had a great weekend with my hubby." They just celebrated, I think it was 25 years together. Judging from Kathy Allen's face page, Richard Allen was able to pull off a picture of normality, going on trips and out to play pool with his wife. Kathy posted a video on Facebook in 2016 showing Ricky, as she would call him, sitting in a car. She wrote, "Had a great weekend with my hubby. Went Christmas shopping at Castleton Square Mall on Von Mauer store is one of my favorite, especially during the holidays. They have a live pianist, and I love the holiday decor and atmosphere. Ricky, however, about fell asleep waiting for me to finish shopping. Then I stalked him out in the parking lot, waiting in our car. Had a great, 25th anniversary dinner at Ruth's Chris in Carmel." And then, Kathy Allen's Facebook profile read, "Live and love every day as if it's your last." Yeah, that's not too creepy at all. I'm wondering if this is the bridge of her, the going up to the vehicle. Let's see here. So take a look at him. What do you think he was looking at there? I'll rewind this. Wow, eh? Creepy. Richard Allen's gate in the fireworks video to the top of the suspect. And let's see here.
You started way too late.
Oh, he's doing more.
That's cool.
So what do you guys think? Whoa. News first broke of Ellen's arrest on October 28th. Come on. Get it going here. So go to Gray Hughes, and he's got some really information and different takes on this this case. Police dug near a fire pit at the couple's home. Yes, they did. One, it seemed like, was maybe a test hole, and the other one was a little bit bigger. Digging up a fire pit in Ellen's backyard. Here. It's not going to show us that. Oh, show me, not you. So, and this is also very interesting. It is not clear what information has led the authorities to Ellen. He did not appear to have a criminal record. Now, I've looked. I cannot find anything. He does have an alias was going by, supposedly. At the same time, I'll dig that up. It sounds like it might also have been like a paperwork and possibly not an alias. That's why I haven't done anything with that. Okay, so this does give you a kind of an idea. It looks a little bit longer than, like a little bit further, just the way, the size of this map, I suppose, and the way it's situated. But he almost in like a little dead end street, cul-de-sac type thing. And then he just went around the corner and basically followed the road to the Monon High Bridge. And literally, as the crow flies, it's like a mile and a bit. And this way, it's under a 5-minute drive. It's closer. It's probably a closer walk than it is a drive. It says, yeah, that he lives about 5 minutes from the bridge. Online records indicate he's lived at the Delphi address since about 2006, but he also lived in Peru, Greenwood, and Mexico. So something interesting to me about this Peru and Mexico is Peru is where the Keegan, Tony Kleins are from and lived. And Mexico is just like hop, skip, and jump away. So it does put us into the question of did they know each other? Girls were discovered near the Monon High Bridge. Ellen's, this is interesting as well, licensed pharmacy tech. See, it says according to state records. And if there's anything interesting, we'll pop over there. No, not there. Let's see. So the 2000 search warrant that was filed over a month after the girls' bodies were discovered. So I'm not sure if you guys remember, but that was at Ron Logan's house. So the interesting thing basically about what has gone on with the Ron Logan search is, now that paperwork is out there. I've gone over it in some lives and other videos. But what makes this interesting is the fact that you've seen what they were looking for. So the reason they would have been looking for this stuff is possibly because it was something that is related to something that was at the scene. So it says the bodies were moved and staged, and that a large amount of blood was by the victims at the crime scene. Because of the nature of the victim's wounds, it is nearly certain that the perpetrator of the crime would have gotten blood on his person/clothing. Something, you see, this is something we did not know, was how much blood was lost, which gives us kind of some possibilities as to what may have happened. They probably were not strangled. Let's put it that way. According to Wish TV, citing the search warrant, 2 articles of clothing from one of the girls were missing from the scene, leading authorities to believe they may have been taken as a souvenir. So yes. Now, I've heard a couple things as far as what those items could be, but it's not confirmed. So I'll wait and see if there's any kind of confirmation. Now, if I remember correctly, Libby, I believe, yeah, it was Libby, lost a shoe on the other side of the river from where they were found. They found actually the shoe before they found the girls. So I'm not sure if that has something to do with whether, I don't know if that is possibly one of the things that was missing from the scene. Okay, so that is that one. Again, what do you guys think? What are you guys thinking? I just want, if this is the guy, let's get him put away. Let me see here. Okay. I am going to just do a fast search here and see if I can get any more, just like a brief. Oh, no. Some brief videos that might give smaller updates. The letter. So I don't know if it's a fact or not, but one of the other creators is saying that he's not doing so well in prison, that he's pretending he's sleeping all the time, and sounds like the other inmates aren't liking him too much, which is not any kind of surprise at all. I'm just trying to see if I can find anything along those lines that yeah. Let's see. We do know that he's been moved to the state prison for his own safety. So this one's not fact, so I won't go there, but there are still a lot of questions as to, sorry there. So there are questions as to whether or not there's any kind of, sorry, I keep shutting this down, but she keeps going. Keegan Klein, right? That's our next question. Is there any kind of connection between the Kleins and get Ron Logan out of there, find out if there's anything going on as far as just find out if there's any connections at all. I mean, Anthony shots. There's still a lot that we do not know. We know that the town itself is shocked by what they've learned about him being in the same town. Can you imagine? I find this kind of interesting. I think I'll put that up. The judge, you know, he okay, we'll go over there. He has asked to be recused. He's not feeling safe. And let's go back here. And I don't think he is, I don't think that he is feeling he's the right person to be dealing with this right now. Judge Diner wrote that his small court staff has been overwhelmed by the store requests related to public records that have been sealed. A Carroll County judge agreed to release more details. And remember, they did put out that little bit, they put out that affidavit, but again, there's lots they're keeping. Okay, shield me from this storm. In his message sent to state court administrative staff, Diener wrote, respectfully, I need a team of people who can handle these requests for alleged public information where there is no public information. He went on to explain that his court staff has been overwhelmed by the storm of requests related to public records that have been sealed. My bailiff answers the phone, has no experience and no knowledge about legal process. Thankfully, there's a court administrator that has experience, but she has duties regarding Carroll Circuit, Carroll Superior Courts. That's it. So I'm begging for some assistance to shield me, the court, from this storm so that I, the court, can keep running the court. Otherwise, I'll do what? Read to Rule 6A of Indiana Rules of Court, rules on access to court records, and explain to everyone that the Supreme Court and statute allows for this precise relief. This is not a court who has a duty to notify the public. It is the prosecuting attorney's office as the requester. It is honestly the judge's duty to reply to each non-party request for information and explain why, when a request is rendered confidential until a hearing, it is logical and possibly to acknowledge the existence of the confidential information. Just sending this inquiry took 15 minutes of my time. Imagine actually responding to each of these requests. Please advise. So yeah, it is an unusual case. He is needing some help. And he did recuse himself.
6 o'clock with breaking news. It was just in the last few hours we've discovered new information about the case against the man who now is accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi.
This entire case against Richard Allen is sealed, but 13 News has been fighting to find out how and why those details are being kept secret. Our senior investigative reporter, Bob Siegel, joins us live tonight at 6. So, Bob, some of these records are now made public?
Yes, Scott. This is the email investigators sent directly to the judge, the prosecutor, and the state court administrators to get more answers about the arrest of Richard Allen. Just hours after we sent this email, the court decided some of the information being kept secret should be publicly released. We now know court records show Allen's initial bond was set at $20 million. We have an online case summary showing past and upcoming court dates.
So all of this information is readily available with a Google search.
Details. And following our questions, the court also posted this notice, setting a date for a public hearing for the judge to determine whether important records in the case will remain under seal. All of that now appears on the state's public court website, where anyone can see it, instead of being hidden like it has been for the past 6 days since charges were first filed. What we still do not have is the detailed probable cause affidavit, which details why police believe Allen is responsible for the death.
So again, let me know what you think down below. I know I keep repeating myself, but I really am interested to know what you guys think about everybody wanting this information, even though there's a chance it could hurt this case.
Of the 2 Delphi girls. That is supposed to be public, and it's still being kept under seal. That will be the focus of the public hearing coming up on November 22nd. The judge says keeping that important document under seal has created a difficult situation for the court. Today, Judge Diener copied 13 News on an email to state court administrators. He wrote, "Just so the world knows, the Carroll Circuit Court consists of me, Benjamin A. Diener, the judge. My court reporter was hired Friday and began Monday. My bailiff answers the phone, has no experience and no knowledge about legal process. Thankfully, there is a court administrator that has experience, but she has duties regarding Carroll Circuit and Carroll Superior Courts. That is it. So I am begging for some assistance to shield me, the court, from this storm so that I, the court, can keep running the court."
Wow.
The state court administration is providing guidance to the judge on how to handle all. The court can keep running the court.
So yeah, let me know what you think about that. I personally, well, you know what I've been thinking about this. I just want this case to be not interfered with. I just want it to be the best outcome for Abby and Libby and their families. And I do believe the truth will come through. I think we just have to have a little bit of patience. So you know what? I'm going to do some more digging. I think I liked being able to do this this way when I'm not able to do lives. I'm still able to get the information to you that I want. So again, let me know what you think about that as well. So friends, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you more than you know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe if you're not already subscribed, the bell for notifications. And you know what? I will absolutely see you in the next one.